High Performance Life with me, Kyle Dekolade. It's great to be here again today. It's the end of another week. It's Friday. How are you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome to High Performance Live with me again. You know that we do this every Friday like this as a high performance community where we come together to talk about tips, tools, strategies, tips, and tricks to help us be those high performers that God has created us to be. And I'm happy to be here again with you at the end of this week. How was your week? I hope your week went well. I hope you had a very profitable week. I hope you had a productive week. I hope you had a purposeful week. And I'm so happy to be here with you. You know how we do it, right? Every time we come on High Performance Live, like this, the very first thing that we do is that we do our high performance review for the week, which is simply the thing that you are grateful to God for this week, the lesson that you are learning this week, and what is that thing that you are looking forward to in the upcoming week. So I really want to know from you. I would really would like to know. Just let me know in the chat below. What is that thing that you are grateful for this week? What is the lesson that you are learning this week? And what is that thing that you are looking forward to in the upcoming week? Every time I always go ahead and start. For me, what I'm grateful to God for every single time that we come together like this is the opportunity to be here with you on High Performance Live every Friday evening like this, where we come to encourage ourselves, charge ourselves, look at how the past week has been, and plan for the coming week. I'm always so grateful for this opportunity to be here with you. The lesson that I'm learning, or that that I'm learning, I'm still learning it this week, is to break free from stagnation, breaking free from stagnation. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes, so you don't want to miss that. I was talking with somebody today, and another high performer, and we just got talking. He's the CEO of a tech company, and he was just re-echoing and reaffirming many of the things that we do here in the high performance community, because that's what it's really about. And he told me how every night before he goes to bed, he always asks himself that question: what is the new thing that I've learned today? What is that new thing that I've learned today? And he told me something very interesting, that if he can't answer that question, even just right before he goes to bed, he makes sure that he pulls out his phone, goes on YouTube or something, and then is looking for something new that he can digest, something new that he can consume on. And then he knows that, yes, I've hit my quota of the something new that I've learned for the day. And I found that so powerful. And that's why every week that we come on a high performance community, high performance live like this, I always keep encouraging and charging you. And I'm not going to get tired of saying it, because that's how we grow as high performers. That's how we grow as high performers. If you can outline those three things for me, that what you are grateful for to God for in the week, the lesson that you have learned this week, and what you are looking forward to in the upcoming week, then I know that you take your growth seriously, and that you are on course, to all those goals that we want to achieve. And what a better way for us to end the year 2023, right? And that's what I've just been charging and encouraging us on, that it's very, very important. It's great to start something well, but it's very important to also finish well. And the reason why I'm keeping up the pace, keeping on the momentum, charging you and encouraging you, cheering you on every step of the way, is that I want us to finish this year 2023 strong. It's very, very important. Yes, I know that you're already making projections, you're making plans for the year 2024, but what I'm saying is that the way 2024 is going to turn out is highly dependent on the way you end 2023. It's very, very important. And that's why I'm encouraging you, I'm charging you, by all means. Just like this my friend talked about, let this be your habit, let this be your practice every day. If you make it your habit and your practice every day, you will definitely find it easy. Anytime we come on high performance live like this, and I ask you, oh, so what are you grateful to God for this week? You will be able to tell me 10 things. What is the lesson that you are learning this week? You'll be able to tell me more than one thing. And that's why it's just so important that we make these things a habit. It's how we grow, it's how we develop, it's how we improve. and how we become the best version of ourselves, even as those high performers that God has created us to be. And so for me, that's what I'm grateful for. Grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. The lesson that I'm learning is breaking free from stagnation, which I'll be sharing quickly in a couple of minutes. And the thing that I'm looking forward to is the create build your expert empire webinar. And I've been talking about it for a while. Build your own expert empire webinar. Build your expert empire webinar. That sounds like a tongue twister, right? Yes, it is. But one thing that I can assure you is that if you are a coach, you are a consultant, you are an expert, you are a professional, you know, you are somebody that is looking for the ways and avenues to monetize your knowledge, to impact your wisdom, to share your wisdom with others, and to get paid doing it, then this is your opportunity. That's why I've been talking about the Build Your Expert Empire webinar for a while now. It's coming up in the month of November, but I've been talking about it since the beginning of the month of October, you know, just preparing us and gearing our hearts towards that event. That this is your opportunity. I know that you are already exploring and you are setting your plans and your projections for 2024. This is the way to do it. This is the way to go about it, to make sure that when we enter the year 2024, you are not starting the year trying to figure things out, trying to figure out the next step to take. You already know what to do. And that's why you need to be part of the Build Your Expert Empire webinar that will be coming up very, very soon. Sharing more details. I've been talking about it. I'm going to be sharing more details, the link for you to get registered for it. But I want you to get prepared because, just like I said, I want you to start the year 2024 on a very, very powerful note. And I can't wait to see that happen for you. So let me know, what is your own high performance review for the week? What are you grateful for? The lesson that you are learning, and what is that project that you are looking forward to in the upcoming week? Let me know in the chat below. So I'll just get right into it. Breaking free from stagnation. That's what I'm talking about today. Break free from stagnation. It's very important. I believe that this conversation is very important because many of us, you know, get to that point where we feel like we're not gaining enough traction like we would like to gain concerning specific goals that we want to achieve. It can be in our finances, business, our career, our relationships. You know, it just feels like we're stuck in a rut and we're just, you know, going around in circles. You know, even with everything that we're facing in our nation, everything that is going on in the world, going on in the economy, I believe that this conversation is very, very important. You know, as high performers, we it's very important that we remind ourselves that there is always a way out. There is always something that we can do to move forward, to advance. Even though the conversation is centered around, oh yes, things are bad, things are not working, there is nothing to be done. One thing I want us to remember, that we as high performers, there is always something that we can do to make progress. There's always something that we can do to move forward and to move closer to those goals that we want to achieve. And that's what I want to share with you. And so, you know, it's so important because no matter what it is, you still see many other people making progress. And I think sometimes that's what can be really challenging, right? When you are busy struggling and trying to make headway, and you see some other people, especially with social, you get on social media and you see that your friend posting pictures of them traveling all over the world, you know, going from this place to one place, meeting this very notable person, and you're wondering how come they got so connected, how come they can afford to travel all around the world like that. Or you see them put up their gym picture and you know they are looking so trim and cut and fit, and you're like, wow, how are they able to stay disciplined, how are they able to stay consistent? And you know, you the truth about it is that you're a high performer, but you just can't admit that, you just can't help but admit that you feel a little bit jealous, you feel a little bit envious, and more importantly, you just feel frustrated, you feel angry with yourself because you can't just seem to make any headway, you can't seem to make any progress. And somebody will ask me, okay, so kind of, what do you do in such a situation? I, humorously, I was taking notes in my journal, and I said, okay, I think the best thing is just delete all your social media accounts. And I'm sure if I tell you to do that, you'll probably just faint and fall on the floor. But one thing I can assure you is that that's not the solution. So don't worry, I'm just kidding. You don't need to delete your social media accounts, but instead there is a way that we can move forward, that we can make progress and see ourselves advance towards those goals that we want to achieve. To break this thing, how do we break through to the next level? Be it in our business, be it in our career, be it in our finances. How do we break free from this thing called stagnation? And the one thing that I would say is that just like how the photographer, when he's taking the picture of an object, what he does is that he gets the object into frame. He uses some certain elements and all that in the surrounding to frame the object, so that whosoever is viewing it knows that that's the subject matter of that picture. Is the same way that there is a frame, there is a framework, there is a frame that serves as the elements, that serves as the acid test for us to know that we are actually making progress on our journey. And it's that frame that I want to share quickly with you in the next couple of minutes. The frame to help you break free from stagnation. The frame to help you break free from stagnation. Where frame there is an acronym that stands for fear, responsibility, ambition, mood, and experiment. I'll take it again. The frame to help you break free from stagnation: fear, responsibility, ambition, mood, and experiment. Those five things are the things I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes, showing you how to, for us to move forward, for us to break through to that next level that we desire to get to in any aspect of our life. So the first one is fear. Most times when you notice that it looks like you are stuck, or that life sucks, or that you are not making any progress or not making any headway in your goal, most times if you check it, the first thing that you need to check, now I'm not saying that that's what it is and that's why it's a frame. So what you do is that you check these five things, and then to see where is the place that I'm actually dropping the ball. What can I do to improve in that particular area? And I tell you that you will see yourself begin to make progress towards that goal that you want to achieve. So the first place that you need to check is in the area of fear. Sometimes what happens is that when we feel like we are stuck, or when we feel like we're not making progress, what you discover sometimes is that we're allowing fear to dictate our affairs. It's not about the fact that that other person seems to be making a whole lot of progress more than what we are doing, or seems to be achieving something greater than what we are achieving. One thing that we always need to remember is that no matter how great of a feat you achieve, no matter how great of a feat someone achieves, there will always be someone that achieves greater. So when we're talking about breaking free from stagnation, we're not talking about, see, comparing your life with any other person's life. We're talking about saying, see, success is not about what you achieve compared to what another person achieves. Success is about achieving God's goals, God's plan for your life. And so what I'm here to share with you is that how do you make sure, how do you ensure that you are making progress, that you are on course to achieving those God's goals for your life, God's plans for your life. That's what it's ultimately all about. And what I'm here to say to you is that if you are in that place where you are feeling like you are stuck, you need to check it. Is fear dictating my affairs? Fear of the fact that I'm not good enough, fear of the fact that I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, fear of the fact that if I try this thing, it will fail. And what I'm simply here to tell you is that most times when you get into that place and you feel like, okay, what is happening here is that I'm allowing fear to dictate my affairs, I'm allowing fear to hold me back. This is the time for you to say to yourself, now I need to go all in. Now I need to go all in. This particular thing that I've been saying, you know what, if I do it, it will not work. If I do it, it will not pan out exactly as I hope to for it to pan out. You know what, I don't deserve it. I don't feel qualified enough. I don't feel competent enough. That particular thing that you have those feelings about, that's the thing that you need to do. it is because you are ignoring those things. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel like you are in a rut. That's why you feel like in one place. And so my own charge and my own encouragement to you is to go back to all those things that you know what you have been putting on hold, and that you have been saying to yourself, you know what, okay, when I get more qualifications, I will do it. When I feel more competent, I will do it. When I feel more confident, then I will do it. My own charge and my own encouragement to you is that don't wait till when you feel more confident. Right now, that your heart is shaking, that your heart is is that word correct? Palpitating or something. Right now that your heart is shaking, right now is the time for you to do that thing. That thing that you have been saying that you have been putting on hold, and then you say, okay, when I have more courage, I will do it, or when the conditions are right, that's when I'll do it. My own charge and my own encouragement to you is that if you are going to get out of that place where you feel like you're stuck, where you feel like you are in a rut, now is the time for you to do that thing. It's time for you to flip the fear, to do that thing that scares you, to do that thing that you are afraid of, to do that thing that to your head doesn't make any sense, but you know something is stirring you in your heart that this you need to do this thing, you need to pay attention to it. It's very, very important. The second thing is responsibility. The first thing is fear, the second thing is responsibility. Anytime you feel like you are stuck in a rut, or you feel like you're not making as much progress as you want to make in any aspect of your life, the second thing that you need to check is that thing called responsibility. Because most times what happens is that knowing unconsciously we give away our power, especially when you know we are trying our best, we are putting in all the effort, we are putting in all the work, and you know we have encountered various disappointments. People have let us down. People that we expected to come through for us didn't come through for us. With all our powerful ideas and everything that we have put together, you know, we get to that place where we can just become resigned, and we're just like, okay, nobody wants to help me, nobody wants to come through for me, nobody believes in me, nobody supports my idea, nobody validates me. But one thing that we need to always remember is that, see, the it's you can't afford to give away your power. You need to take your power back. And it's because that we are waiting for other people to validate us, we are waiting for the circumstances to become favorable, sorry. That's why we feel stuck, that's why we feel like we're in a rut. And I'm here to say to you is that if we are going to make progress, if we are going to make advance in our journey, then you need to take back your power. You need to take back responsibility. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save me. One of my favorite songs of all time is Remy Zero. Yes, the guy that sang "Somebody Save Me," the soundtrack of Smallville, the TV series Smallville. In case you know the TV series Smallville, you know what I'm talking about. That's the soundtrack of you know, of the series. Somebody save me, you know, and all that. But it's interesting that as high performers we need to remind ourselves that nobody's coming to save us, nobody's coming to rescue us. The responsibility for us to make our dreams happen is on you, is on me. I love the way Kevin Hart says it. He says waiting for other people to make your dreams come true is like waiting for a bus at a place where there is no bus stop. Eventually what happens, the bus is going to come through, the driver might pity you and stop and pick you anyway. But most times what happens, because that place is not a bus stop, he's going to drive off, he's going to be looking at you and driving off. And so that's just what it is. You are looking at the bus and he's driving off, he's going away. And so it's so humbling and so sobering that when we refuse to take responsibility, that's eventually what happens. We are right there watching our dream drive past us, and we're doing absolutely nothing about it. And so, look, I know the fact that you are listening to me right now is a proof that you are a high performer. The reason why you got to where you are today is the proof that you are a high performer. You are a responsible person. So when I'm talking about taking responsibility, don't think that I'm saying you are not a responsible person. That's not what it is at all. We all need that reminder, especially when we desire to get to the next level in a particular aspect of our lives. That's when you now begin to realize that, oh, This same principle of responsibility that I applied in my academics, I can also apply it in my business. This same principle of responsibility that helped me turn around my health is the same responsibility I can apply that would turn around my finances. And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that you are already a responsible person. You already have that skill, that practice, that know-how of responsibility. But the interesting thing is that sometimes we forget, we lose sight of the fact we are always chasing the shiny objects. That's one thing I realized. We're always chasing the shiny objects. We're always chasing something new and fancy, especially when we're trying to break through in that particular area and it just looks like it's refusing to break through. It will not get to that point where we feel like there is something missing. There is something that we are not doing. There is something magical that I need to capture. That's the reason why I'm not breaking through. But I'm here to say to you that you have broken through in the past. If you look at it, what helped you break through in the past, it's that practice of responsibility. And all I'm here to say to you is that, put that thing into place and you will definitely see yourself move forward in that particular aspect of your life that you want to make progress, that you want to achieve that goal in. The third thing is ambition. I've talked about fear, I've talked about responsibility. The third thing is ambition. When many times when we're trying to make progress and it looks like we're not advancing as fast as we would like, what happens is that we are experiencing a disconnect from our vision. We're experiencing a disconnect from our vision. I love the way the wise King Solomon puts it. He says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Another way to say that is that if people do not see what God is doing, they stumble over themselves. That's so powerful. He says, if people do not see what God is doing, they end up stumbling over themselves. And so what happens when you stumble over yourself? You are not making progress. You fall down, and then what happens is that you are on one spot, you are crying, you are feeling bad, you are throwing a pity party that you are not making progress. Instead, you are falling, you are making mistakes and all that. But you discover it comes back to that place that where there is no vision, the people perish. If people do not see what God is doing, they stumble over themselves. It's usually a disconnect with your vision. And note that I said a disconnect is not that you don't have vision. You are a high performer. You know all these things, but it's a disconnect. What is happening right now is that there are a lot of things distracting you, a lot of things distracting us, especially because of many of the things that are going on in the environment. The truth about it is that distractions, the things going on in our nation, things going on in the world, going on in the economy, those things are the things that are distracting us from our vision. You know how you substitute fanning the flame of your dreams you substitute it for putting out the fire for life's emergencies. So all our lives has become is, from day to day, running around, putting off this fire, putting off that fire. At the end of the day, living a life of survival now ultimately becomes a dream. But we're here to remind ourselves here on High Performance Life, in this high performance community, that there is that life that is beyond survival. We need to reconnect with our ambition. We need to reconnect with our vision. It's very, very important if we are going to see ourselves make that progress that we desire to make. And that's just what it is. The truth about it is that we have the goal, we have the vision, we have the dream, we know what it's about. But why do we not feel like we are making progress? Because we are pursuing something else. We are pursuing something else. We have allowed ourselves to get our eyes off the ball. I love the way Mike Murdoch says it. He says, "How do you destroy somebody else's dream or somebody else's vision? Just give them another vision, another dream. Just simple as that. You don't need to disturb yourself about anything or about doing anything complicated. Just give them another dream and another vision. Ultimately, they will not have any time and attention to pay to those things that really matter." And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that it's coming back to that place where we need to reconnect with our vision, where we need to reconnect with our ambition. I love the second part of that scripture by that in Proverbs by that is mentioned by King Solomon, where he says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." But he said, "But they that keep the law, happy are they." The way to say that is, when people attend to what God reveals, they are most blessed. And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that right now, with all the present circumstances, it can be so difficult, it can be so challenging to see anything beyond our nose, to see anything bright about the future, to see anything bright about tomorrow, because today looks so gloomy, today looks so dark. And my own charge and my own encouragement to you is that when that happens, you need to reconnect. You need to reconnect with the person that has your future in his hands. Our future, that's just what I want to say to you. Our future is not in any leader of any nation. Our future is not in any economy. Our future is not in any nation. Our future is in God's hands. He says, look, I will give you a future that you hope for. So he's the one that gives a future. Our future is not in anybody. Our future is not in any space. Our future is in God. And so if you are in that space where you feel like you are not making as much progress as you desire to make, what it simply means is that, look, you are looking at the wrong things. You are getting distracted. You are paying too much attention to the things that are happening around in the environment, things that are happening around in the economy, things that are happening around in the world. It's good to be aware of all those things, but your focus should be on the person that holds your future in his hands, and that person is God. And so it's about a reconnect, to reconnect with him. What is his word to you about your specific situation? That's my question to you. What is he saying to you about your finances? What is he saying to you about your business? What is he saying to you about your family? What is he saying to you about your relationships? You need to come back to that place where you pay attention to those things. You make that your focus and not every other thing that is going on around you. That's how we make progress. That's how we advance. The fourth thing is your mood. Is your mood. Anytime that we get to that place where we feel like we are stuck in life, one thing that we need to check is our mood. Is very, very important. Our mood and the things that affect our mood. You are talking about things like your diet, you are talking about sleep, you are talking about exercise, you are talking about your associations. All these things affect your mood. And there is no how, if you have low energy, that you can feel great about yourself. If you're having low energy, you can't feel great about yourself. You can't feel great about the future. You can't feel great about life. You will only feel that life sucks because personally, within, it feels like everything is sucking. And so that's why I'm here to encourage you that you need to check your mood. You need to pay attention to your mood. If you are going to break free from stagnation, you need to pay attention to your mood and the factors that affect your mood. Are you getting enough sleep? One thing that you need to realize is that when fatigue steps in, faith steps out. I'll say that again. When fatigue steps in, faith steps out. So ultimately, that's what happens when you are tired, when you are exhausted, when you are not getting enough sleep, when you are not getting enough rest. You will not feel great about yourself. And if you don't feel great about yourself, you won't feel great about life. You won't feel like you're making any progress. And that's why we need to pay attention to our mood. Try and get enough sleep as you can get. Try and get enough rest that you can get. Try and eat well to the best that you can eat. Make sure that you are eating right, and that's so important. I know it's a very, very sensitive subject for a lot of people, but you are a high performer. You know this. What you eat eventually plays a very important role in your mood. You know that. If you overload yourself, what happens is that you are going to feel heavy, you are going to feel sluggish. And we're talking about stagnation. If you are feeling sluggish physically, it will show up in your the way you think. It will show up in your emotions. It will show up in everything. And that's why it's very, very important. You can't load yourself with 3 wraps of eba and feel excited about life. Just in case you don't know what eba is cassava flour. So like cooked cassava flour. So you're talking about 3 hefty wraps of that. You eat that. I know there is a lot of comedy skits out there on social of how people just get this big food and are gulping it down. But those are some of the things that I just always try to make people understand that we need to be careful, because sometimes when you see some of these things, there's that tendency to feel like, oh, you know what, I've been so stressed, this week has been so stressful, you know what, this Friday I'm going to knock myself out with food. just to compensate with all the hardship that I've gone through this week. And I understand. Yes, I understand the hustle. I understand the grind. I understand the fact that yes, you've pushed yourself this week. You've stretched yourself to the limit this week. But one thing I want to assure you is that, hey, hi, Shahida, great to have you here. Welcome. One thing I want to assure you is that overloading yourself with food is not going to help, and it's not going to help matters really. Just eat moderately. Even for those of us who care about our health and fitness, yes, we have our cheat days. The weekend is coming, so where we're looking forward to having our cheat days. One thing I always encourage is that yes, I know you are looking forward to your cheat days, but one thing I always advise is that I personally don't like that concept of cheat days because of even the word itself, cheat. And because many times when you're trying to cheat cheat in your diet in that particular day, maybe on a Saturday or on a Sunday, what happens is that there is that tendency to go overboard. There is always that tendency to go overboard. That's the challenge I have about cheat days. There is nothing wrong with having a cheat day. Let me just say that openly now. The only challenge is that there is always that tendency to go overboard. Hi, Bruce Wayne. Great to have you here, Bruce Wayne. Welcome. How are you doing today? Welcome. And so that's just the challenge that I have with doing cheat days, because there is that tendency to overdo it. And one thing that you realize is that if you overdo it today, it's not just going to affect you tomorrow. It's probably going to affect you tomorrow. It's going to even affect you the day after. And so what eventually happens is that you have your cheat day and you're spending 1 or 2 days just to recover from your cheat day, to get your performance back up, and then to be able to do the things that you need to do. But one thing that you discover is that losing 1 or 2 days just to recover from a cheat day, it piles up. Before you know it, it piles up 1 or 2 days, just to recover from cheat days over a 52-week period. Is almost like 1/3 of the year that you've dedicated just to recovering from cheat days. And that's why I always just encourage that yes, okay, you can try and have the cheat days, but it's very important that you just get to that point where this thing is just a lifestyle for you. The way you eat, the way you take care of your body is just a lifestyle for you. You don't look at it as something that you are punishing yourself for 5 days so that then you can now just splurge for another 2 days. It's just a lifestyle in season and out of season. It's just what you do, is the way you live your life. Whether it's a Monday, whether it's a Sunday, it doesn't matter. Whether it's a weekend or it's a weekday, it doesn't matter, because it's a lifestyle for you. And I know that in so many ways somebody will say kind of easier said than done, right? But that's why you're here on the high performance community. We'll keep going at these things. None of us is there. None of us is perfect. We still sleep, we still fall, we still make mistakes. That's why I'm here to encourage you. Don't give up just because you made a mistake, just because you slipped, just because you fell, just because you did that thing that you didn't want to do or that you don't like doing, doesn't make you a bad person, really. Don't forget all the great things that you are doing, all the areas where you are strong, where you perform well, where you do well. Don't let just these 1 or 2 areas where you fall short and just make you throw away all those other things. And so that's why it's very, very important that you watch your mood, and which leads to the other thing, which is your self-talk. It's very important. The way you talk to yourself plays a very huge role on your mood. And if you talk down on yourself, there is no how you will feel good about yourself. And if you don't feel good about yourself, you will not feel good about life. You won't feel like you are making progress in life. And that's why it's very important that you watch your self talk. Don't talk down on yourself, no matter what it is. Don't talk down on yourself. Identify those things that, okay, yes, okay, I made a mistake here, fine, awesome, I will do better next time, and just go ahead and do better. Remember all the great things that you are doing. Many times there's always that tendency for us to overplay the negative things that we do and forget all the great things, all the great parts of our lives that are working. And so my own charge and my own encouragement to you is that don't forget the great things that you are doing. Don't forget the beautiful things that you are doing. Just because you lost your temper with your family member, or you lost your temper with your spouse or with your partner, Don't forget about the times when you were kind to them. Or don't forget about the fact that today when you went to the mall, you held the door open for a stranger that was about to walk in. Don't forget that you did that. You did that. You did that act of kindness. You saw somebody that needed a place to sit and you stood up and you offered that place for that person to sit down. Don't forget those great things that you do just because you made this particular mistake or just because this negative thing happened. And so that's my own charge and encouragement to you, that remember the good. Let those things play on in your mind. It affects your mood. And the more you focus on the good, the more you feel good about yourself, the more you will feel like you are making progress in life. And so the final thing I'm going to talk about is experimenting. Experimenting to feel many times when we feel like life sucks or we're not making progress as we would like to make in any aspect of our lives, what you discover is that we are not trying enough new things. That's what you discover many of times. We are not experimenting. We are not going out to try something new, to do something new. And we know these things about high performance, right? The one of the greatest drives that we have as human beings is the drive for novelties, the drive to challenge ourselves, to do something that we have never done before, to do something that stretches us, that takes us out of our comfort zone. But most times, what happens is that we wait for a very long time. We wait till like 6 months. We wait till like even some. No, I'm talking about months. Sometimes we wait till years. The interesting thing is that sometimes we don't even do anything to get out of our comfort zone until something bad happens and forces us out of that comfort zone. So perhaps something has been telling you that, see, expand your knowledge in that your workplace, expand your skill set, learn something new, broaden your horizon, broaden your knowledge. You are just, there's just that thing, you just be coasting. You know what? I'm too busy. I don't have the time. When I have the time, when I go on vacation, I will learn a new set of skills and all that. Until then, all of a sudden, you get fired. And now you now discover that I have to learn now. So all those while where you were saying you didn't have the time, you didn't have the bandwidth to do it, now you are forced to do all those things. And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that every day, and just like I'm saying, I'm not there yet. So don't worry, I'm not beating you over the head. We're talking to ourselves that every day I just keep praying to God. I say, God, please help me not to get to that point where I'm forced to come out of my comfort zone, where something a tragedy happens that makes me have to evolve. And so that's why we need to be careful, right? To keep encouraging ourselves that even as much as a weekly basis, even if it's just to change something, to do something new, to do something about our routine, be it in your health and fitness, be it in your finances, be it in your business, be it in your career. What is that new thing that you are doing every week just to spice things up, just to keep things fresh? What is that new thing that you are doing even in your relationship? Because what you discover is that it's very easy. The easiest thing to do is to coast through life. The easiest thing to do is to become familiar. We need to be careful of that thing called familiarity. We need to replace familiarity with curiosity. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself because I think about my family, I think about my wife, I think about so many things that I do, and I have to keep telling to myself that, look, they don't get familiar, don't get used to these people, don't get used to your loved ones, don't get used to doing your work. Keep evolving, keep trying something new, keep doing something new, keep adding something new. Don't become somebody that becomes an obsolete person. Keep keeping things fresh. It's very important. Ask any lady out there. One thing that we always have in mind as guys is because, we're so busy trying to be a good provider for our family and for our loved ones, and then we're just thinking, okay, when it's our anniversary, I will buy her that expensive gift to tell her how much I love her and how much I appreciate her. But you know what? The anniversary is only once in a year. But if you ask the lady, she will tell you that, see, yes, she still wants you to do the big thing, that one big thing that you are planning to do, that very expensive gift that you want to give her. She wants you to do it, but she still wants you to do something little every day to let her know how much you love her and how much you love and appreciate her. So that's just what it is. That what are the little things that we are doing every day to keep things fresh, to keep things going, to keep evolving, to keep growing, to keep adding up and spicing up the journey. It's very important. That's how we make progress. As you keep doing that, you just keep seeing how things are expanding and how you are making progress in life. And so that's just what it is. To break free from stagnation, remember your frame. Remember your frame, which is F, that stands for fear, R stands for responsibility, A stands for ambition, M stands for mood, and E stands for experiment. You want to make progress, you want to move forward in that goal that you want to achieve. Remember that it's all about coming back into the frame, coming back into the frame. Anytime you feel that sense of fear, anytime you feel like something is saying this is the time for you to hold back, and I'll say it is very important. You need to understand this, especially because of the things that are going on around us. There is always that thing when there are challenges that want to make you to feel like hold back, hold back. I'm telling you that this is the time to go all out, to go all in. This is not the time for you to hold back. This is the time for you to take responsibility. Nobody's coming to rescue us. Nobody's coming to rescue me or you or me. This is time for us to take responsibility for our lives, to reconnect with our ambition and our vision. What is that word that God is giving to you about your life, about your situation? Make sure you connect to it. Watch out for your mood. Take care of your mood. Watch out for what you eat. Sleep well. Exercise. Watch your association. Talk. Make sure that you're talking positively to yourself, and then experiment. Keep trying new things. Keep spicing it up, and you keep seeing yourself make that desired progress that you want to make. So awesome, great and awesome stuff. Thank you for joining me today. Again, we made it. I said I was going to make this 30 minutes. This is already 40 minutes. I'm always having so much fun every time we come on here. High Performance Live on this community. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, Bruce Wayne. Showing up consistently for a while now. I really appreciate you, Bruce Wayne. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always joining. And for you joining today, I appreciate you and thank you for being here. Look out for all the great content coming out in the new week that we're getting into. Everything to make sure that we are those high performers that God has created us to be. New long form video, the new daily shorts, all the posts that are going out, my newsletter that will be coming out on Sunday, so just everything to make sure that we are those high performers that God has created us to be. So look out for all that. Also, you can also follow me on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. It's the same name. Follow me on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. There you can send me a DM. So just like I keep asking you, what are those projects that you're working on? I'm your coach. I'm here for you every step of the way. You can send me a DM. Let me know what's that thing that you're working on, how I can come in, how I can support you. Let's make those goals happen. Most importantly, to finish this year 2023 strong. That's my ultimate desire. So you can follow me on Instagram at Kyle Colade, send me a DM and let's make it happen. You have any questions? Feel free. I'm here for you. Always a delight to serve you. Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing you a very awesome weekend, a blessed weekend, a restful weekend. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with your family, enjoy your time with your friends. Even as we go into the new week, I wish you all the very best. All it's few days to the end of the month of October, so I know that there are probably some things that you're trying to get to round up before the month is over. I wish you speed. I wish you grace. I wish you favor. I wish you uncommon success, even as you go about doing all those things. Keep talking to you within the week until I see you again in our next live session next week, Friday. Do take care. Your greatness is very sure.